Coming up on MCTV this week. Monmouth's co-ed fraternity marks its first official year on campus, and find out what you would do if there was an active shooter on campus. This week starts now. Hello and welcome to MCTV This Week. For Alistair Ramsey, I'm Tori Philbin. Monmouth's newest fraternity celebrated its official anniversary earlier this month. Founded on October 1st, 2013, Mu Lambda Rho is the campus's only co-ed multicultural fraternity. Primary founding members Garrett Daniel and Natasha Mabels each wanted to create two different organizations, but soon combined their ideas and formed a co-ed multicultural fraternity. In 2 years, Mu Lambda Rho became an official campus organization and recently celebrated its first Founders Day.
It was fun to start a new tradition and get to see how everybody else felt just on some of the events that took place that night at our ritual.
We also had chapters individually. Kappa Kappa Gamma sent Mu Lambda Rho a letter saying Happy Founders Day. It was just very encouraging to see that everyone is really excited that we're here.
This year, Mu Lambda Rho held its first philanthropy event, Rho Bounce, and won a Greek Week event. Although some members were originally on the fence about joining Greek life, they all came to an agreement that Mu Lambda Rho was the one for them.
You're always going to be working with different people, so coming here and finding an organization that really had a strong value and diversity was something that really was a big draw to me.
When I went to the involvement fair, I was taking a look at all the other fraternities, and Mu Lambda Rho was the one that caught my eye because, well, one, it was a co-ed, and I never knew such organization existed.
Mu Lambda Rho values siblinghood, diversity, academics, unity, and service.
Mu Lambda Rho will be a great way to be more open-minded, and just get to know a whole bunch of different cultures that would probably, influence how you look at the world.
In the real world, we don't just work with females, or we just don't work with males, but we work with both. And
each person has their own ideas, and those are respected. So I think people would find a sense of belonging and acceptance with Mu Lambda Rho because we are different. I think that would be one of the greatest things, and you kind of find yourself with the struggles and the victories because we aren't as established as everything else.
If you are interested in rushing Mu Lambda Rho but missed Rush Week, don't worry. There will be a secondary rush period from November 17th through November 18th.
Last Thursday, Monmouth College asked the question, what would happen if we had an active shooter on campus? Janessa Caldron has the story.
According to Jason Wilson, a trooper with the Illinois State Police, a shooting only lasts 5 minutes but can have a lifetime effect. Wilson gave a presentation on what actions to take in case of a violent intruder.
A violent intruder comes into their building. We want everybody to be able to think for themselves and help themselves in case something like this were to happen.
The acronym ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. You must alert all campus via the alert system, lock down each classroom, counter or attack the gunman if needed, and evacuate the building as soon as possible.
You need to move past that it's not happening to me phase and go straight into I need to defend myself, I need to defend my friends.
Besides learning how to keep the classroom safe, the audience learned how to mentally prepare themselves through recognition of the crisis, assessing the crisis, and responding to the crisis.
Throwing something in their general direction, it distracts them to the point where they can't easily target you. And in the end, we want you to become a harder target, and our ultimate goal is to make you a non-existent target.
For MCTV, I'm Janessa Calderon.
In the event of emergency, contact numbers are posted throughout campus, including in each classroom on the podiums in front of the room.
Last week, Monmouth College students got a shot of reality. On Wednesday night, ASAP brought Mission Improbable to campus for an alcohol awareness program. The show, called A Shot of Reality, informed students about the dangers of drinking irresponsibly. Students were invited on stage to participate in games, guessing facts, and statistics having to do with consuming alcohol. Students were also asked to convince someone to give up their keys after a night of drinking using any excuse they could think of. The actors pointed out that every year, 1.7 million people are taken off the road for DUI, and hundreds are killed as a result of drunk driving. Towards the end of the show, the actors asked students to raise their hands if they knew people who were killed in alcohol-related accidents.
It's important to take care of each other, make good decisions. College can be a great experience. Whether or not you choose to drink is your own business, but the biggest thing is that we try to promote is safety and responsible decision making.
The next ASAP event will be a Ghost Story Coffee House tomorrow night at 9 in the Underground.
Last Monday marked the first lecture in the F-word series given by Communication Studies professor Trudy Peterson. The lecture discussed why the word feminism is now treated like a dirty word. Peterson gave a talk discussing her grandmother, which sparked the roots of her feminism. She touched on a variety of different topics, including her grandmother's history and how her grandmother influenced her.
Family stories shape and define the identity of family members. One of the difficulties with this project was that I challenged some of our family rules in so doing this.
Started in 2007 by Marla Belshner, the F-word series is meant to address what it means to be a feminist in today's society.
The right to dream was discussed among all students last week. The Office of Intercultural Life and Modern Foreign Languages hosted Morgan Drake, an immigrant family advocate from Casa Guanajuato, and Western Illinois University student Hugo Daniel San Ramon Trejo to discuss the obstacles of young undocumented students in America. Originally from Mexico, Trejo explained what it was like coming to the U.S. from Mexico when he was 4, not realizing he was here illegally. Although now he has a social security number and can legally work here, he can still not receive federal financial aid as an undocumented student.
Undocumented students are everywhere, and they're just like you. They blend in because they are like you. So I hope today was kind of an awakening to understand their reality instead of just the reality you think they have.
For more information about this and other programs here at Monmouth, you can contact the Office of Intercultural Life.
Latinos United of Monmouth, or LUM for short, brought out some spooky ideas for a good cause.
And go!
On Saturday, runners gathered for LUM's 5K Mummy Run at Monmouth Roseville High School. Proceeds from the race go to a scholarship for a local Latino high school student. MC Professor Lori Walters Kramer's small group communication course helped to organize the event. LUM strives to empower the Latino community in Monmouth by providing educational, recreational, and cultural opportunities.
We were just in town for my uncle's funeral, unfortunately, and we saw in the review atlas that there was a run, and we both run marathons in Europe, my brother and I. Actually, our cousin's here too, it's her stepfather, and so we just saw the run, so we thought we'd come out and check it out.
LUM's next event will be a scholarship competition in Flout tonight. For more information, you can find them on their Facebook page at Latinos Unidos de Monmouth.
Taking a look at some events on campus this week. Start off your Halloween weekend tomorrow night with ASAP's Ghost Stories Coffee House in the Underground at 9. Also tomorrow night, see the Monmouth Chorale at the annual drag show at 7 in Doll Chapel. And on Sunday, help the MC Band raise money for its trip to Ireland by participating in a dodgeball tournament at 1 p.m. in the Huff Center.
Coming up next in sports, the Fighting Scots football team is in the playoff hunt as they take on Cornell. Highlights next. The Fighting Scots football team took to the field on Saturday, desperately needing a win against the Cornell Rams, who were undefeated in conference play. The Scots strike first with this 12-yard run from freshman Trent Raines. He had a school record 41 carries in this game. Sophomore quarterback Alec Dutko threw for 215 yards on the day, and after the first half, the Scots led 17-14. In the second half, junior Jake Innes takes a 3-yard pass from Dutko to the house. Scots up 24-17. They go on to win 38-21, keeping their playoff hopes alive.
well, offensively wise for me. We really wanted to work on zone, which is just finding a hole and cutting to it. And so that's really what we just did. And then for the quarterback, Alec Ducko, he stepped in and really did a great job completing his passes and did a great job at his position.
The Scots will travel to Cornell, Iowa next Saturday to take on the Pioneers, while the women's soccer team, they took on Cornell last Saturday for Senior Day. The Fighting Scots held on strong during the first half. The defense was able to keep the ball away from the goal, while the offense held most of the possession in the first half. The second half was a different story. In the 54th minute, Cornell scores. They outshot the Scots 15-5. And the Scots fall to the Pioneers 1-0. The Scots are just 2-9 this season, with games decided by just one goal. The Scots will go to Beloit on Sunday for the final game of the season. There's your look at sports. Here are your scores for this week. That's it for MCTV this week. I'm David Beidle.
And I'm Alistair Ramsey. Make sure to tune in next week for another installment of MCTV.
And I'm Tori Philbin. You can also visit us on the web at monmouthcollege.edu/MCTV. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, and have a happy and fun and safe Halloween.